So we're here to talk about a space movie that's not Interstellar. It's Gravity. We call it Space Blindside.
Wow.
What a great opener. Yeah, so we watched Gravity this week for our standard pod episode. Kind of long.
Felt like it.
It was an hour 20. Felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I did not feel exactly the same. It felt like it was about as long as it said it was. For me.
That's good, at least. I took a break.
I knew what this movie was just because I've heard about it in the streets. You know what I mean? So I knew it was one of those movies where it takes place in like one room, like two characters, really one character. So I knew it was going to be one of those pieces where it has to really rely on the acting.
Yeah. Which was good, in my opinion. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. Now the script, on the other hand.
Yeah, a little different.
Why the
different
fuck
story.
was George just constantly quipping? Like, he was just
the entire time.
Fucking, like, he thought he was a superhero at this point. He thought he was just like, yeah, I like brown eyes, I got blue eyes, or some dumb shit. Like, bro,
yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? You're about to fucking drift off into space and die. You're just being like, George Clooney.
So, to be honest with you, because I obviously heard about this movie when it came out and then forgot about it, I, for some reason, thought that it was Matthew McConaughey in this movie.
That's Interstellar. That's why I said it's not Interstellar.
That's why I was confused. So yeah, then I saw George Clooney and I was like, oh, wait a second. That's George.
Yeah.
I think this movie would have been fantastic in like a theater.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's
probably.
the same thought I had.
If you were able, I'm also as my two podcast mates might know, I have no internet, so I fucking watched this on my phone, and it was not a good time.
Ooh,
but
I also watched it on my phone.
If you're in a dark theater, like in space, like that shit would have been pretty cool. Like you would have been really invested, like in the movie. Like you would put yourself in that situation. I think it would have been a lot cooler. Unfortunately, watching on like a 5x7 screen, a little different.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty. Like, I thought the scenery, I guess, the CGI, whatever they did for it, I thought that was really cool. Even for being on just a phone.
Definitely. I thought the visuals were super cool. I definitely would have retracted this as a podcast movie because there's just not much to talk about here. But I thought the visuals were very cool, and I thought the acting was solid. The writing, we talked a little bit about this as of now, so we'll get more into it, but it was mediocre. Yeah.
Have you guys seen A Quiet Place?
I have not.
A little bit. I, for some reason, haven't seen the entire movie.
You didn't watch it, so obviously you didn't watch it in theaters. You watched it at home.
No, yes.
The whole time I was watching this movie, I thought of A Quiet Place, where I was like, I would never watch this movie outside of a theater. Because
Fair.
A Quiet Place is such a fucking great movie that I think is hard to hold your attention when you have access to everything that's at your home. Like, you can't hold your attention, right? Versus a theater where A Quiet Place is great. Because I don't know if you guys are familiar. Well, you said you watched a little bit. There's like no dialogue in that movie. It's all just characters moving, physical movement, giving it away, everything. No audio really. A little bit of like pitter patter footsteps and things like that. And that's where like the horror elements come in. It's a great movie, but it's just something that I don't think works as well outside of a theater. This is a movie that I feel like was made for IMAX. Specifically IMAX, 100%. Not just a theater. This movie was definitely made to like big dick, like Avatar was, where it's just like, hey, look, we got this great fucking outer space thing. The sound design's great. We got crazy atmospheric. We want to make you feel claustrophobic when she's in the little space station. Like, they were going for atmosphere that I don't think necessarily crosses over to home theater versus actual cinema.
I agree. And that, it sucks too, because it's like, it might be a great movie, like, it would be a great movie, and it sucks that doesn't carry over, I guess, is because there's so much potential lost in that sense. Because, I mean, let's be honest, most people, the vast majority of us, are not going to the theater to see every movie we watch. So, and this is only in theaters for so long. I mean, I don't remember the span that this was in theaters in 2013 or whenever this came out.
Right.
So just for that month or two, maybe, period, that is in a theater, like, you're going to have so many viewers that are watching this after. So it just loses some of that spark, and I guess like the potential it has is lost on home screens.
100%.
I also think it was a pretty cheap movie to make outside of
That's
the
what I was
CGI.
thinking.
Because the CGI was expensive because you got to pay those poor fucking editors who are.
Oh yeah.
Or those poor animators who are not going to see their children for 20 years because animators get way underpaid and overworked. Shout out to animators. You guys are my favorite out of movie cast and crew, to be honest with you. Fuck writers. They're my least favorite.
Most of them, yes.
Like, they only had to pay 2 actors, realistically.
Yeah.
And those
and then
two,
a couple dudes for their voices.
Yeah, and those 2 did not have to do much because I'm pretty sure that they were CGI'd into the suits. Because like if you look at the faces, when you look at them in the scenes when they're in the suits, they're not actually doing anything impressive.
No, I agree. Honestly, like, and I don't think if they were actually wearing a suit, even if there's a light in it, like they could have got the visuals of their face. It just kind of looked weird. So I don't know.
Hold on.
I mean, it would have.
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
Finish your thought.
Hold on. Finish your thought.
Well, no, I thought you were done. Kept going, so I didn't.
No, go for it. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, speaking of visuals of the face, when that dude Sharif got sniped, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That turned dark real quick.
It did.
Like, I was like, oh, cool. Like, they got people. And then I was like, oh, no, that person got.
Well, yeah, because I was like, okay, yeah, he got hit. I thought for some reason, it was lost on me, even though they said it, the fact that those things were moving at, 50,000 miles an hour. But just like watching it happen, it looked like it just kind of bonked him. And then he was, maybe falling out of control. And then they showed it, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So I was rather taken aback. That was kind of graphic, but yeah, that was something.
He got hit like I got hit. He ain't fucking breathing. Sandra somehow is the only one who made it out alive.
In the end, yep.
So that's great. Can we talk about... Okay. There's one scene in particular that gave me a little bit of ire, and that is the scene in the fucking Chinese little space pod thing. It should have been Goku's little space pod or like Vegeta's from Dragon Ball Z, but that's a whole nother argument.
Okay.
When she starts talking to the dude, who is very obviously like a regular ass dude who's not at a space station. And they start getting all hypey hype and shit. And then she hears the dog and she's like, oh shit, it's a dog. And then she's like, can I hear the woof woof? And I was just listen.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, oh, I get the point because she's been in space so long. She's lacked, contact with other living beings. And she's only been in space a week. That's a long time to not have any interaction with another
Especially,
being.
like, she almost lost her life about 14 times. She's probably not really with it.
That's true.
Let me isolate you for a week and see how you feel when you run into someone. All right?
That's a fact. I had one note for that part of that scene, because then she started barking with the dog, and all I said was, bitch, I'm a dog. Ooh. And it was pretty, because that's exactly what I thought of. I was like, I can't believe she's really just barking over this radio to some dude who doesn't understand her.
I'd have notes on this particular scene, but I skipped 30 seconds. And I didn't
it was
watch
too cringe? You had to skip it?
Yes.
I almost did that, but I was like, no. I must see this. I must understand.
I'm glad you did it for me, man. I skipped and I went back. I skipped.
Because I had to really feel the movie itself, you know what I mean? But then, she ends up surviving, which, I don't necessarily know if that would happen in real life, but, it's okay. She probably would have been fucking dead.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Most likely.
It seemed interesting.
Did you guys bite for the George Clooney getting in the thing at the end?
No.
Like that he was back. I saw him come back. I was like, that's some bullshit.
I did a little bit. I was like, wait a second. I was like, this seems incorrect, but I'm gonna go with it. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was being stupid.
I did not go with it. I refused to believe that he was alive because I have brain cells. I knew she was just tripping. And you know what they said? You twipping.
Wow.
And so that concludes Gravity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bro, she literally got out of the water and then the movie ended. Like, come on.
Did she actually survive? Oh, snap. Now walk.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Great.
Jesus Christ. I would have thought it was kind of cool to like pan out of her like on the land and like tell us where she was or where she landed, but it's okay.
But you can't do
That's
that
kinda
because
what
you
I was
don't know if she lived. What if this is just all in her head? This is the afterlife. Her reconnecting with her dead child.
But she didn't.
Because they don't want to give a definitive answer.
A car should have pulled up. Dude gets out the car, gives her the car. She gets in, starts driving. She goes, I just drive. Boom. The fucking Transformers music plays over it. You get Linkin Park. Get what I've done. Fucking, she just rides off into the fucking distance, bro. She goes, I just drive. Puts on the fucking aviators.
Fucking a car pulls up. George Clooney steps out. Come on, loser. We're going to space. And it's actually the beginning of the movie.
Oh my god.
It's an infinite loop. And then what I've done is it starts playing. No, and then you get 3 Days Grace Animal instead. And then they play the animal I have become. Like that, we get that instead. Just to get the real great ending. Oh man.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll always find a way to make a movie stupid.
Oh, easily. This is what we do. This is what we get paid for, but we don't get paid enough. This movie to me felt like the definition of mediocrity, so I'm going to give it a solid 5.
I see division. I see the potential in the movie, but unfortunately I did not watch it in theaters. I watched it on my phone. Therefore, it gets a 6.
You know what? I think I'm also gonna give it a 5 because nothing. Like I felt the suspense in some portions, but it was, I don't know. It was all right.